The jet lag clung to me like a heavy shroud as I stumbled into our apartment, eager to reunite with Noah after a week-long business trip. But the warmth I anticipated was replaced with an icy chill that hung in the air. The usual hum of our shared space was eerily absent. The dim lights accentuated the emptiness that pervaded the room. "Noah?" I called out, my voice echoing through the silence. There was no response. A sense of unease settled over me as I wandered through the apartment, each step echoing my growing apprehension. The kitchen held a stark revelation. A set of divorce papers lay on the counter, accompanied by a cold note accusing me of ulterior motives, of marrying for wealth. I felt the world crumble beneath my feet. How could the person I vowed to spend my life with harbor such suspicions? In a daze, I searched for Noah, my voice shaky as I called out his name again. No answer. Panic set in, and I rushed to our bedroom, hoping to find an explanation for this abrupt turn of events. But the bed was neatly made, devoid of any signs of recent occupation. It was then that I noticed the locks had been changed, sealing off the life we had built together. Betrayal gnawed at my core as I grappled with the reality that Noah had filed for divorce without my knowledge. The love that once bound us now lay shredded, replaced by accusations and deceit. A phone call to Noah went unanswered, leaving me with more questions than answers. The only communication I received was a cold email containing divorce documents, coldly confirming the end of our marriage. The gut-wrenching realization that my signature on those papers was a forgery added another layer of betrayal. Distraught and betrayed, I couldn't fathom how the person I trusted with my heart could orchestrate such a callous act. Anguish and confusion clouded my thoughts as I sank onto the living room floor, surrounded by the remnants of a life that had unraveled in an instant. As I stared at the divorce papers, my mind echoed with unanswered questions. How did it come to this? What had changed so drastically in the span of a week? The pain was palpable, an ache that resonated with each breath. I was left to navigate the wreckage of my marriage, grasping at shards of trust that lay shattered on the cold kitchen floor. The courtroom's cold atmosphere mirrored the chill I felt in my heart as I sought justice for the deceit that had fractured my world. Noah's betrayal extended beyond the emotional wreckage. It was a calculated act that unfolded in the legal arena. The attorney's words became a dissonant melody, recounting the details of Noah's forgery and the elaborate web of lies that had ensnared our marriage. As the layers of deception were peeled away, the ache in my chest intensified. In the midst of the legal storm, I confronted Noah, our eyes locking in a tense exchange. "How could you?" I demanded, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and hurt. Noah's gaze faltered, a fleeting expression of guilt crossing his face. "Isla, I didn't think you'd understand. I was protecting what's rightfully mine," he retorted, his defensive tone only deepening the wounds. The courtroom proceedings dragged on, each argument and revelation pulling me further into the abyss of our broken vows. The judge's gavel seemed to punctuate the end of a chapter one never wanted to close. My lawyer, a beacon of support in this tumultuous journey, leaned in and whispered, "We have a solid case. We'll make sure Noah is held accountable for what he's done." As the legal battles waged on, I found strength within the courtroom's confines. I will not let his betrayal define me, I resolved, the fire of determination igniting within me. Days turned into weeks, and the legal process felt like a never-ending maze. Yet, with each step, I began to reclaim a sense of control over my life. The divorce proceedings became a cathartic process, allowing me to confront the lies and deceit that had festered in the shadows of our marriage. In a heated exchange during a court recess, Noah attempted to justify his actions. "Isla, you were suffocating me with your ambitions. I needed to break free," he asserted, his words falling on deaf ears. "Noah, marriage is a partnership. We were supposed to face challenges together," I countered, the weight of disappointment evident in my voice. The revelation of Noah's affair with Susan, a mutual acquaintance, added another layer of pain to the proceedings. As the truth unfolded, Susan herself entered the courtroom, her presence a haunting reminder of the fractures that had torn through our lives. "Isla, I'm sorry," Susan murmured, her eyes reflecting a mix of remorse and guilt. The legal battles reached a turning point as Noah's parents disowned him. Their decision acknowledged the severity of their son's actions, and reparations were offered to both Susan and me. The courtroom, once a battleground, became a space where justice was served, albeit in small doses. In the aftermath of the legal turmoil, I stood at the crossroads, determined to forge a new path. The shattered vows of my past were replaced with a renewed commitment to myself and the pursuit of a future unburdened by the chains of betrayal. The courtroom's sterile environment echoed with the weight of truth and deceit as I delved deeper into the unraveling web of Noah's lies. Each revelation pierced my heart, exposing the intricate layers of betrayal that had entangled our once promising marriage. As the legal proceedings continued, my lawyer presented evidence of Noah's forgery, leaving no room for doubt. The air in the courtroom became thick with tension, and the judge's stern gaze bore down on Noah. "You stand accused of forging your wife's signature on divorce papers. How do you plead?" The judge demanded, the gravity of the situation evident in every word. Noah, cornered and devoid of excuses, stammered, I didn't think it would come to this. She wouldn't have agreed, and I needed to protect what's rightfully mine." My eyes met his, disbelief etched on my face. "Protect what's rightfully yours?" "Noah, we were partners, supposed to face life together. You can't just erase me from it," I retorted, my voice carrying a mixture of pain and indignation. As the courtroom drama unfolded, Susan, the unexpected player in this tragic tale, took the stand. The weight of guilt lingered in her eyes as she recounted the affair that had fanned the flames of our crumbling marriage. "Isla, I never meant for any of this to happen. It just spiraled out of control," Susan confessed, her voice filled with remorse. The air in the courtroom grew heavier as Susan's words hung in the silence. The realization that Noah's betrayal extended beyond the confines of our home left me grappling with the depth of the deception. During a recess, Noah attempted to justify his actions once again. "Isla, you were so focused on your career. I felt neglected, and Susan was there to fill the void," he claimed, his words a feeble attempt to shift the blame. I shook my head, my patience wearing thin. "Noah, we were supposed to communicate, not resort to lies and deceit. This isn't how a marriage works," I declared, my resolve strengthening with every word. The legal battles took a turn when Noah's parents, a silent presence in the courtroom until then, made a startling decision. They disowned their son, acknowledging the gravity of his actions. The reparations they offered, while unable to erase the scars, provided a glimmer of justice. The web of lies that had ensnared us began to unravel, revealing the true extent of Noah's deception. As the final chapters of our legal saga unfolded, I found myself at a crossroads, ready to leave behind the shadows of the past and step into a future unburdened by the weight of betrayal. The battle within the courtroom mirrored the tumultuous war raging in my heart. Legal proceedings, like relentless waves, crashed against the shores of my emotions, threatening to erode the foundations of my sanity. As the divorce drama unfolded, I found an unexpected reservoir of strength, a quiet determination to weather the storm and emerge whole. The court sessions became a battleground, each argument a skirmish in the war to reclaim my life from the clutches of betrayal. My lawyer, a steadfast ally, offered reassurance during moments of doubt. "We have a strong case, Isla. Noah will be held accountable for the pain he's caused," she affirmed, a glint of justice in her eyes. Despite the support, the battle within intensified. The emotional toll of confronting Noah in the courtroom was a weight I hadn't anticipated. As I faced him across the legal arena, the tension between us was palpable. "Isla, I never wanted it to come to this. You pushed me to a breaking point," Noah muttered, his attempt at self-justification a feeble echo in the courtroom. I shot back, my voice steadier than I felt inside. "Breaking point or not, forgery is not the answer. We were supposed to be a team, Noah." The legal process unfolded with its own set of challenges. Endless paperwork, witness testimonies, and the scrutiny of our broken marriage dissected in the public eye. Each revelation brought me closer to closure, but the battle within raged on. During a particularly intense cross-examination, Noah's lawyer attempted to shift blame. "Isla, isn't it true that your relentless pursuit of a career left Noah feeling neglected?" He probed, attempting to paint me as the antagonist in our story. I took a deep breath, my response measured. Our differences were never an excuse for forgery. Communication is the key, not deceit. As the legal battles unfolded, the financial strain became increasingly evident. Legal fees piled up like a mountain, and the toll on my emotional well-being felt immeasurable. Yet, in the midst of the chaos, a newfound resilience emerged. "Noah may have shattered our vows, but he won't define my future," I affirmed to my lawyer, the determination in my voice echoing through the dimly lit conference room. The battle within was not just fought in the courtroom, it extended into the quiet moments of reflection, the sleepless nights, and the echoes of past promises. In those moments, I grappled with the ghosts of our shattered marriage, a phantom pain that refused to subside. As the legal storm raged on, I began to find solace in the idea that the battles within were paving the way for a future where my strength, resilience, and newfound wisdom would become the pillars of my rebirth. The battle may have been within, but the victory, I realized, was mine to claim. The echoes of silence that pervaded our home became a haunting refrain, a stark reminder of the unspoken struggles that had festered beneath the surface of our marriage. In the aftermath of the legal battles, I found myself reflecting on the profound lessons hidden within the quiet moments that had defined our relationship. The courtroom dramas had unearthed the tangled threads of our communication breakdown, exposing the detrimental effects of enduring silence. As I sifted through the remnants of our marriage, I realized that the unspoken expectations and suppressed desires had cast a shadow over our love. In a quiet moment during the proceedings, I confronted Noah, desperate for answers. "Why didn't you talk to me? We could have worked through our differences," I implored, my voice a fragile plea. Noah's response, however, was a testament to the silence that had driven a wedge between us. "I thought you would never understand. You were so determined to have it all, and I felt like I was being left behind," he admitted, the weight of his words hanging in the air. The revelation cut deep, and in that moment, I understood the destructive power of assumptions left unaddressed. The courtroom became a confessional of sorts, a space where the unspoken grievances of our past were laid bare. As the legal battles unfolded, I couldn't help but wonder how our marriage might have fared if we had broken the chains of silence. The unspoken expectations had set the stage for a tragic unraveling, and I vowed to carry the lessons of our failed communication into the future. In a counseling session mandated by the court, Noah attempted to salvage remnants of our shattered connection. "Isla, I didn't know how to express my feelings. I thought being silent was the easier path," he confessed, his vulnerability a stark departure from the stoic facade he had maintained. I met his admission with a mix of understanding and frustration. Silence only fueled the misunderstandings. We needed to communicate, not drift apart in unspoken agony, I countered, a newfound clarity in my voice. The courtroom became a canvas where the lessons in silence transformed into a poignant narrative. Each argument, each revelation, was a brushstroke painting a picture of a relationship marred by unspoken expectations. As the legal battles subsided, I carried with me the conviction that enduring silence is not a virtue, it's a slow poison that erodes the very foundation of love. In the aftermath of the legal storm, I embraced the lessons learned in silence. Communication, I realized, is not just a spoken exchange, it's a lifeline that sustains the intricate dance of love. As I ventured into the unknown, the echoes of our silent struggles served as a guide, urging me to prioritize open dialogue in the pursuit of genuine connection. In the wake of the legal battles, I found myself navigating the remnants of a marriage built on a fragile foundation. The expectations we had harbored about traditional gender roles and societal norms had cast a shadow over the once sturdy structure of our relationship. As I examined the cracks in our foundation, it became clear that our differing views on partnership had fueled the strain that ultimately led to our unraveling. As the echoes of our past faded, I embraced the present with a newfound sense of agency. True happiness, I realized, lay not in the absence of challenges but in the unwavering pursuit of authenticity and the courage to redefine the narrative of my life. In the wake of the legal battles and the emotional turbulence that had defined my past, I found myself standing on the threshold of a new dawn. The courtroom dramas had concluded, but the echoes of the past lingered, serving as stepping stones towards a future unburdened by the shadows of betrayal. As I embraced the prospect of a fresh start, I marveled at the resilience that had emerged from the crucible of adversity. The scars of a broken marriage were there, but they were now badges of strength, testaments to the unwavering spirit that had weathered the storms. In a moment of closure outside the courtroom, Noah approached, his eyes reflecting a mix of regret and longing. "Isla, I never expected our journey to end like this. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused," he admitted, a humility present in his words that had been absent before. My response, though guarded, carried a note of compassion. "Noah, our paths have diverged, but we both have the chance to find happiness in new directions," I replied, the weight of forgiveness and the realization of our separate destinies evident in my voice. The legal battles had served as a crucible, not just for justice but for personal growth. In a counseling session mandated by the court, I found closure as I addressed Noah once more. "Our marriage may have crumbled, but the lessons learned will shape the foundation of my future. True happiness is a pursuit that begins from within," I affirmed, the words resonating with a newfound wisdom. The financial reparations from Noah's disowned parents became a form of closure, a symbolic acknowledgement of the pain caused by their son. The courtroom, once a stage for conflict, became a space where reparations and restitution paved the way for healing. In the aftermath of the legal storm, I focused on building a new life. The scars of the past were tender, but they were healing, and in their place grew the seeds of resilience and self-discovery. The pursuit of true happiness became a conscious decision, guided by the understanding that enduring torment could lead to unexpected strength. As I embarked on the journey of creating a new family, I couldn't help but reflect on the importance of open communication and honest discussions in relationships. The silence that had once permeated my home was replaced with a chorus of laughter and understanding. In a quiet moment with a trusted friend, I shared my reflections. I've come to realize that enduring silence is not a virtue. It's the conversations, the shared dreams, and the willingness to face challenges together that define a relationship, I confided, the lessons learned etched into the fabric of my newfound happiness. The echoes of my past were there, a constant reminder of the trials endured, but they no longer cast a looming shadow. The dawn of a new chapter brought with it the promise of genuine happiness, built on the strength of lessons learned and the courage to rewrite the narrative of my life.